Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo, and I'm back, and I've got some college basketball plays for you. Just relatively new to the college game, but I want to have some fun with March Madness, and I'm sure some of you out there want to as well. So I just got to get in here and grind, and I found 4 plays for today that I feel good about. We'll see if we can start getting some of that same energy for college ball as we have been, getting for NBA. So I'm not putting as many units on these plays. I'm still taking the same approach with my research, with outlier, daily grind, and applying that to basketball for college ball. But yeah, so I'm just being a little bit less aggressive on the units for college ball until we get into a groove here. But these are the 4 plays that I like for today, March 3rd, Monday. We're just about wrapping up these seasons here. So going to be a lot of fun through the tournament and everything. So this is what I'm feeling for today. So I'm going to go Quincy Ballard, center for Wichita State. I think he plays for Wichita. 7.5 rebounds was looking good with everything that he had available. I'm liking these rebounds the best. We're finally getting Isaiah Evans on Prizepicks. Dude has been balling coming off the bench for Duke. And his minutes have been getting, rightfully increased. And I think he's going to get a lot of minutes in tonight's game. So I'm going to take his full PRA over 16. Also, another Duke player, Kon Knueppel, like him to go over 4.5 rebounds. I like a lot of stuff for Kon, but I decided to go with just the rebounds since I'm kind of banking on Isaiah Evans having a good game as well. Don't want to, his PRA does look good. I was really tempted to take Kon's PRA as well, but I think I'm just going to go rebounds because that 4.5 is so low. And then going to wrap it up with guard for UCLA, Kobe Johnson. Just going to take his 2.5 assists. I saw his PRAs trending. You can take that if you want, but this 2.5 assist line is just so low. I think that's the best value. So if you guys don't mind, do me a favor, like the video, drop me a comment. You guys have been killing it. Thank you for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to just keep thanking you guys because that was awesome how quickly you got me there. So I appreciate the support. It helps out a lot with the algorithm. Let's get into these plays. So Quincy Ballard. I mean, this dude puts up some monster numbers here and there for rebounding the ball. These last 3 games, he's gone for 12, 9, and 14. And it looks like, 2 soft matchups and then a middle of the road matchup. He does have a tough matchup. I mean, when I say tough, it is tough. Like, second in rebounds allowed is impressive when you're talking about like 350 plus teams. So he's going to have his work cut out for him. But if we look at the minutes here, been getting some solid minutes lately. Let's take a look at the injury report real quick. Nothing too significant here. Let me see. Let's zoom out just a little bit more. Let's see how the minutes are typically. So yeah, it's just this one game where it was down a little bit, where he played 14 minutes. That seems like an outlier. All the rest of these are like knocking on the door of 30 minutes. So even with that down game at 14, still averaging 29.7 minutes, just 2 fouls. Not necessarily getting in foul trouble as of late. I mean, 4 fouls in college is a lot, so that would definitely affect your minutes a little bit. But yeah, he still got 31 minutes in that game, so I'm feeling good about it. Over this 10-game stretch, he's exceeded this 7 out of 10 games. And again, when I'm talking about him exceeding this, it's not like he's just barely getting 8. Like, his lowest outing was 9. Other than that, it's 10 or higher. We got multiple 13. We got a 14 his last time out. And then a couple games here where just a couple more rebounds would have cashed it. So it's looking pretty solid. Let's look at this note from Outlier. Okay, so he's exceeded 7.5 rebounds in 14 of his last 18 games. So 78% hit rate over his last 18 games. So yeah, looking solid. Again, just sort of still getting in the groove here with college, and this is the type of information that I'm relying on to because it's just a lot of teams to get to know. So I'm excited to get to the place where I'm at the same comfortable understanding as NBA, but for now I'm really relying on like looking at the data, the history of the plays and stuff. Let's look at the head-to-head real quick. All right, so this is from last year. He had 23 minutes in that game, and he still almost beat this. He went for 7 rebounds in 23 minutes. His most recent outing, head-to-head wise, 32 minutes. He went for 13 rebounds. This is University of North Texas that they're playing tonight, who apparently is really good at rebounding the ball or making it difficult for other teams to rebound the ball. Let's look at the over-under real quick. So we got 127.5 over-under, and North Texas favored by 7.5, and they're at home. So shouldn't necessarily be a blowout. You never know with college, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm going to jump over to Kobe so I can wrap it up with both Duke plays. So Kobe Johnson, I'm loving these assists. I told you, like, everyone's on his PRA, and I get why, because it looks pretty solid. Having a little bit of trouble loading here. Yeah, it's looking pretty solid over these last 5, but I mean, some random situations here. So it's just a little volatile. I mean, like, you've got 4 rebounds, 3 rebounds, and then 13 rebounds. Like, that is not like a typical outing for him. And if he did not have a monster game with the rebounding here, and it was a middle of the road match, but if he didn't have a monster game here, he would have not exceeded this 16.5. His most recent outing, tougher matchup, but he only went for 13. He had 3 rebounds, and his attempts, he's only averaging 7.4 attempts. So he's shooting 46%, but he's averaging 3.4 made buckets. 3.4 made buckets over his last 5 games. So I'm not really wanting to attach the points here. When you take a look at the matchup, 88th in points allowed. So it's a better than, like, above average matchup, middle of the road for rebounding. But then look at the assists, 286th in assists allowed. And when we look at this assist line at just 2.5, it's just seeming like the best value to me. He doesn't assist the ball a ton typically. If we look at the 2024 season, I don't know why it's moving so slow. I mean, it's still not a bad hit rate, 62% of the time, 18 out of 29 games, but he looks like he's kind of getting in rhythm right here. And he has a really soft matchup, and this is just such a low line at 2.5. So 3 out of his last 5, and then his 2 most recent games, look at this, 43rd in assists allowed. He put up 4 on them. And then another soft matchup, he goes for 5. 293rd was that opponent. It looks like Purdue. And then, and now he's sitting here, got a 286th matchup, for assists allowed. So, or ranking, So, he did that in 28 minutes. He's averaging about 28 minutes typically. And so let's look at this over under here. So we got a 131.5 over under, and UCLA is favored by just 3.5, playing at Northwestern. So it looks like they're expecting somewhat of a tight game. So don't really have to be concerned about like a blowout. And minutes getting dropped because players are coming out. So this is just looking good to me. I like these low assist lines that you can find in college ball, especially when guys are kind of popping off more recently. So feeling good about it. I think I forgot to take a look at. Let's look at Quincy on Daily Grind. Then I'll pull up Kobe. Quincy Ballard. Okay. So they like his points over 8.5 is the best play, 51.99% odds to the over -129. Mixed emotions. Actually, some platforms are bumping this up to 9.5. So everyone that has it at 8.5 does have it favored to go over. Some decent juice on some of these too. I mean, BetMGM -125, Caesars -133. So go with your gut, but they do like the rebounds as well. 7.5, they have it at a 51.86% odds to the over -129. And some decent juice on this as well. Looking pretty similar. I mean, BetMGM has it at a -129 instead of the -133 that the points are at. But yeah, I mean, I feel good about it. And I forget what it was. I think there was it was his PRA that was trending. I'm not totally sure, but the rebounds were what stuck out to me once I dove in. So let's look at Kobe Johnson. See about this play. Kobe J. All right, so they like his points as the best play, 7.5. But again, what did we say? 3.4, 3.5 or something like that. Made buckets over the last 5 games. I'm not necessarily liking it, but this is favoring it to go over on the optimizer as far as value. 51.3% odds hit the over -125. And Yeah, we've got like a little bit of juice, minus 120 for BetMGM, but these other platforms have it kind of like mixed, minus 117. And then the rebounds, they like the rebounds over 5.5, 51.12%, or I'm sorry, 0.2% odds to the over, minus 124. We have the assists on here. They have it favored, just not heavily juiced, 50.39% odds hit the over. And kind of, not a lot of juice. There's one minus 130. And then we've got like some 50-50 shots here. So go with your gut. They don't like the points assists together. So 7.5, 2.5 is 10 flat. And then what are the points assists at? 10.5. So they're not liking, they're calling the under just because of the 0.5 bump there. Since we're getting the assists at 2.5, but I just think that he's kind of in rhythm right now with assisting the ball, and I'm going to count on him being able to capitalize on that in a soft matchup, especially when the matchup was 88th, did we say, in points allowed? So we spent enough time on Kobe and Quincy. Let's talk about Isaiah Evans, who is upcoming baller, coming off the bench for Duke, who has just been getting super hot from beyond the arc, especially. This dude shoots with confidence. He is an absolute gunslinger, and he drops a lot of threes. So we see 4 straight games since this minutes bump. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's look at the last 10. Yeah, so it wasn't looking as good. And you can see the minutes kind of correlating, but when he does get more minutes, like you can see like 7 minutes, he puts up 3 points and 1 rebound. And then when he got his 20 minutes against Syracuse, he goes for 10 points, three rebounds, 3 assists. But then the minutes have been a little bit more consistent as of late. Let's take a look at the field goals, and he's been shooting more. But look at from beyond the arc. Still, even with all these weird games, he's still averaging 45% from beyond the arc and averaging 2.1 made threes over this 10-game stretch, even with all of this inactivity over here. So we're going to zoom back in and look at these last 5. Yeah, when he first popped on my radar, I was watching Duke play with my father-in-law, and I think I had taken Tyrese Proctor in that game, and Evans just had like a sort of a breakout game. He went 5 for 5 from beyond the arc in the first half. That was this game, against University of Virginia. He shot 83% from beyond the arc. He missed 1. He went 5 of 6 for the whole game. But over this 5-game stretch, he's shooting 50% from beyond the arc, 6.8 attempts a game, 3.4 made threes a game. And then 9.2 attempts just from the field in general, 50%, 4.6. And that's basically, the dude's just shooting threes for the most part. They don't, for college, they don't show the potential rebounds and the potential assists, unfortunately, for college. But hopefully they will have that eventually. As far as the matchup goes, 67th in points allowed, and then middle of the road for rebounds and assists. And then here's the main thing. Look at this spread. Duke is projected to just absolutely blow out Wake Forest. 144.5, and Duke's been doing that to everybody, but 19.5 point spread favoring Duke, playing in North Carolina. So if they blow them out, Evans is going to get plenty of minutes. You can see, let's go back to minutes here. Look at these games. So 80 to 62, that's not even that bad. That was his breakout game. And then this is what's more typical of Duke right now. 110 to 67. Let's see, 97 to 60, 100 to 65. So that's why I'm kind of a little bit off Cooper Flagg tonight. I think he's gonna. I love Cooper Flagg. Dude's amazing. He's going to be the number 1 pick in the NBA. But they're kind of like cutting his minutes a little bit, I think, as they get ready for the tournament. We got guys like Isaiah Evans and Kon Knueppel who their minutes are staying consistent. And if anything, I think Isaiah Evans is seeing a little bit more run, kind of get him ready for extended minutes potentially, and then getting him more in form, and then kind of saving and protecting Cooper Flagg is kind of what I'm guessing here. So let's see what Daily Grind thinks about Isaiah Evans. I spelled that wrong. Let's just go Evans. There it is. So they're not feeling the PRA. It's because it's at 16 on Prizepicks, and these other platforms have it at 15.5. So they're thinking like, hey, this is above market value. According to these other odds makers like Underdog, which you could go over to Underdog and take this at 15.5. I'm going to throw that in too, because I love Underdog. You can find some decent discounts on Underdog. They've just been absolutely upgrading their platform. I love it. They love his points over 12.5. I don't blame you if you want to take this instead, because the majority of what he's doing is his points. But at 12.5, bumped it up to 16. That's a 3.5 point bump to get his rebounds and his assists, you know? And then if you, let's see, do they have his individuals on here? They don't. But yeah, I just, you know, let me go back to him real quick. He doesn't get like a ton of rebounding and assisting. I just felt comfortable taking the 16 just in case. Yeah, his most recent outing, he had 3 RA, 2 RA, 4 RA, and then 3 RA. So 2 games with 3 out of these 4 where his minutes were up and he hit, and 1 game with 4, and we're getting that added to the points for 3.5. But also the rebounds and the assists are a softer matchup than the points alone. So you can go with your gut. I honestly would feel just as comfortable with these points over, because that is going to be the majority of what he's doing. They don't like the points assist. They kind of just are favoring the points. So go with your gut. I'm taking the PRA just in case, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got a little bit of a minutes bump. All right, so Kon Knueppel, excuse me, in the same game. This dude is awesome. He is just like a physical, guard / forward who kind of gets outshined a little bit by Cooper Flagg, but he's absolutely to me, he's deserving of, getting drafted to an NBA team as well. He's going to be a good role player. I think over these last 10 games, he's averaging 29.6 minutes. And I'm not like afraid of this PRA. I just think the value of the rebounds at 4.5 is too good for me to include all this. Essentially, I think he would need about 15 points to clear this PRA tonight. Last time he played them, he went for 8 rebounds and 3 assists and then 15 points. But when I did the math, the rebounds and assists are at 7 flat. The rebounds and assists are at 7 flat. So yeah, the points, you just got to really count on. I just think if it turns into a blowout, I don't think that his minutes are going to get cut. He tends to stay in the game a little bit longer. Yeah, his points are at 14.5, and he went for exactly 15 in that last matchup. And then if we look at the last 5, he's kind of been right on that line. But this isn't about me not liking it. It's just these rebounds at 4.5 seem like the play to me. I don't know why it's moving so slow. So 3 out of his last 5, he's gone for the 5 rebounds, and then the 2 that he missed, 1 more rebound would have cashed it. Middle of the road matchup, 168th in rebounds allowed. So actually let me show you. We got a bad note from Outlier. So if you don't want to take it, I don't blame you. He's failed to exceed 4.5 rebounds in 10 of his last 13 games at home. So maybe a bunch of these games, they end up blowing them out and they just empty the bench. So that might be something that you want to consider. Maybe this isn't the play. I've got it locked in. I'm taking it for more. You got to go with your gut. I will say one of the selling points for me was last time he played them, he went for 8. So it's looking pretty solid. That was just on January 25th, not that long ago. So I think, there's plenty of options here. Let me see. Let's see what Daily Grind thinks. They like his points assist as the best over. They don't like the points at 14.5. Everybody's kind of got that favored to the under, actually. I was feeling the same way. So yeah, points assist, they like over 17. They think that, I think he just had 5 assists in his last game. Not a huge part of what he's doing, but they do like the rebounds over 4.5. 51.04% odds to the over minus 124. And everyone has this at a 50-50 shot or heavily juiced. FanDuel has it minus 125 to go over. Caesars minus 125. Parlay play minus 135. They also like the points rebounds to go over. Again, I'm just going to kind of stay off the points. And then the full PRA, they have it at literally a 50-50 shot. So you got some pivots here if you don't want to take it. But I kind of like the idea of while we're we're kind of getting into rhythm here with college ball. I like these types of plays where you're just grabbing, 2.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, some of these low lines that shouldn't be too hard. Feeling good about Isaiah Evans. I think that he's going to get a lot of opportunity to shine tonight, especially if by halfway through. I always say quarters, it's just halves, but if early in the second half, Duke is just running away with it, Isaiah Evans is just going to close that game out. And then 7.5 rebounds. These just all seem doable to me. So this is what I chose to go with for today. Can't wait to just really get in rhythm for March Madness. If you guys want to check out this DFS optimizer from Daily Grind, use code BACKDOOR over at dgfantasy.com, and they're going to give you 25% off for as long as you want to make your first subscription, all the way up to a year. And then if you want to try Outlier, you can try this one out for free. Just sign up through the Outlier link in the description, and they're going to just let you check it out for a week before you have to make any commitments. No code, don't have to put a code in or anything. Just sign up through that link and you're going to be good to go. So I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like the video and drop me a comment. If you have questions, you want me to look up a player, I'll be happy to do that. Also, if you have plays that you're excited about, you have been playing college ball for a while, on these fantasy apps, and you have plays you're excited about, let me know, because I'm really just getting to know college ball versus NBA. So I'd love to hear what you guys are getting into. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Have a good one. I think I'm about to hop on with Jordy over at the Backdoor Fantasy Sports channel, maybe put out some more NBA plays. So maybe I'll see you guys in a little bit. Regardless if I do or don't, have a blessed day. I'll catch you in the next one.